G'day guys, my name's Dave and welcome to another Guitar Zero to Hero song tutorial. In this lesson, I'm going to teach you how to play Would That I by Hozier, which is an awesome song and it's got some really cool finger picking in it. Now for the basics of this song, you will need to detune your guitar to D standard. So what that means is that every single string will be detuned one whole step. So E down to a D, then an A down to a G. We have a D that will be a C, a G that will be an F, B that will now be an A, and E that will now be a D. So that's how all the strings on your guitar should sound. D, G, C, F, A, D. Once you've tuned your guitar accordingly, you're good to go. Now if you want to master your chords back to front, then be sure to head over to guitarzerotohero.com to pick up my free guitar ebook. Or if you want to improve on your guitar in general, then sign up to Guitar Zero to Hero Premium, which is my complete step-by-step guitar course. Let's jump into the lesson. So first of all, let's take a look at our finger picking basics. Now your thumb will take care of the 6th, 5th, and 4th strings, and your index, middle, and ring finger will take care of the 3rd, 2nd, and 1st strings respectively. Ideally, they shouldn't pluck any other strings other than the ones they've been assigned to. So let's start with the main verse riff, and there's just 2 lines of tab here. So there's not a lot to learn. It sounds a lot more complicated than it is. All we need to do is just break it up into smaller sections, take it one bit at a time, and it actually becomes a lot easier. So let's take a look at the first bar, and we're based around a G chord shape, so middle and ring finger on the 3rd frets of the 6th and 2nd string. We're gonna break this bar up into 4 smaller sections. Now, one thing to note is at the start of each of these small sections, we're gonna be hitting the bass note, or the 3rd fret of the 6th string. And that's always on the beat. So 1, 2, 3, 4. It's always on the click. So whenever you're practicing this, do it with a click. That way you'll get your timing right. So back to that first section, we're gonna start with the bass note, then pluck the 3rd, 1st quickly, hold that out, and then end with the 2nd string. So the first section, and one more time. Now for the 2nd section, we'll lift our ring finger. We'll start by pinching the 6th and the 2nd strings together. And then you'll put your ring finger back down onto the 3rd fret. And what we're gonna do is pluck that 2nd string again, but you're going to reach and hammer on and pull off onto the 5th fret of the 2nd string. Now this is gonna be pretty tricky for the beginners out there, but you're just gonna need to keep working at it. So keep your ring finger there the whole time, but your pinky will hammer onto the 5th and pull off. And it's really quick. And that's it for the 2nd section, which sounds like this. And one more time. So let's put the 1st and 2nd sections together. For the 3rd section, we're going to take our index finger and put it on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. So at this point, you will have your ring and middle finger still on those 3rd frets, but now we have that index finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. We're going to be pinching the 6th and 3rd strings together, and then hold that out for a little bit, and then we're going to quickly hit the open 4th string, and then at this point, lift your ring and index finger and hit the open 3rd string. So, and then we're going to end this section with one quick note, which is the 4th fret of the 3rd string. So this 3rd section. And then for the final section is just 3 plucks. We're going to take our index finger to the 2nd fret of the 3rd string again, pinch the 6th and 3rd, then lift your index finger, hit the open 3rd by itself, and then the open 4th by itself. So just 3 plucks. And the 3rd and 4th sections together. And we put all 4 sections together and it'll sound like this. Notice how the whole time my middle finger stays on this 3rd fret of the 6th string. And one more time. So that's it for the first bar, which is actually the same as the second bar as well. So we repeat that bar through twice, which sounds like this. Now for the second line of tab, we move our middle finger down 1 string to the 3rd fret of the 5th string. So we're basing this around a C chord shape now. Pluck that, hold it out for a little bit, and then pluck the open 4th string, but then hammer your index finger onto that 2nd fret. So that's the first section. For the second section, you can lift your index finger, pinch the 5th and 3rd strings together, and then 2nd fret of the 3rd string, then with your pinky, 4th fret of the 3rd string. So the second section. So the first and second sections together. Now for the 3rd section, you take your ring finger and put on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. So it's kind of a C add 9 shape. Pinch the 5th and 2nd, hold that out for a little bit, and then go open 3rd, and then with your pinky go up to the 5th fret. So, and end this section by plucking that 3rd string one more time at the end. For the 4th section, you can lift your pinky finger now and put your index finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. We're going to pinch the 5th and 3rd strings together, and then 2 quick plucks, the 3rd string and 1st string, hold that out for a little bit, and then hit the open 2nd string. So the 4th section, and the 3rd and 4th section together. And the whole bar in total. For the next bar, we're going to just keep our middle finger where it is. For our first section, we're going to start by hitting the bass note, then quickly hitting the open 3rd string and hammering on to the 2nd fret. We're not holding onto that bass note at all. You're going to pluck it and instantly go to that 3rd string. And then after that, hammer on, hit the 1st string. At this point, you can lift your index finger and we're going to put our ring finger on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string and quickly hit that. So the first section. Now for the second section, we're going to lift our ring finger, pinch the 5th and 2nd strings, then put our ring finger back down onto the 3rd fret, pluck that, pluck it again, and then do our hammer on pull off with our pinky finger onto the 5th fret. So the second section. So the first 2 sections. For the 3rd section, take your index finger, put on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string, pinch the 5th and 3rd strings, hold that, and then lift your index and ring finger, pluck the open 3rd string and the open 2nd string. So the 3rd section. For the 4th section, put your index finger back down, pinch the 5th and 3rd strings, then lift your index finger, pluck that open 3rd string, and then open 4th string. So the 3rd and 4th sections together. And the bar in total. And that's it for the riff in total. Now I'm going to play it with the metronome at 50 BPM, and you'll notice that each time there's a click, I am hitting the start of a section with a bass note. So that's at 50 BPM, which is slower than the actual speed of the song. If that's still too fast for you, then slow it down even further. You can hit the gear setting in the YouTube player and then set it to 75% speed of what I was just playing then. But up at a faster speed, similar to the tempo of the song, it will sound like this. So that's the main verse. Next, let's get to the short break. Now the short break is just the first bar of that main riff. So we've already learnt that. That is the short break. Now the long break is the same, but it's just that played through for 2 bars instead of just 1 bar. So really nice and easy. The next part we need to learn for this song is the chorus, and there's 2 lines of tab here. Now, Hozier plays this all with bar chords, but I'll give you an open chord variation of this after I've run through the bar chords. So for the first line of tab, we're going to start with a G bar chord. So it's the same as an F bar chord, but up at 3rd and 5th frets. So we're going to strum that and then just hold it out for a beat. So 1 and 2 and on the 3 beat, we're going to go to an E minor bar chord like this. So it's the same shape, but just shifted down 1 string and up at 7th and 9th frets. We're going to strum this at 8th notes. So 3 and then we're going to go down to a C bar chord. So it's the same as our G, but up at 8th fret for the root note. And we're going to strum this twice as well. The first bar, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Now the second bar is identical. Then for the third bar, we're going to go and start with that G again. 1 and 2 and then we're going to hit the E minor, hold that out for 1 beat, and then go down to a D bar chord. So you can play it like this or you can play it like this. I'm going to use my ring finger to bar, strum that. So it's 3 and 4 and then we go down to a C bar chord, which is the same as our D, but just down to 3rd and 5th frets. Hold that out for 2 beats, so 1 and 2 and then we're going to strum this at triplets. So break it up into groups of 3, like that, and we're playing 2 of them. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So that's it for the first line of tab, which sounds like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2. That's the first line of tab, which is repeated through twice. And then for the second line of tab, we're just playing the G bar chord and then C, and we're going to hold each one out for a beat. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and so we go back and forth 3 times, and that's the end of the chorus. So the chorus all together. 1. So that's the chorus with all bar chords, but of course you could just play the open chord variations of all the chords shapes that you see down here. So instead of a G bar chord, you could just play an open G chord like that. Instead of an E minor bar chord, you could play an open E minor like that. Instead of a C bar chord, you could play an open C, and instead of a D bar chord, you could play an open D. So an open chord variation of the first line of chords anyway would sound like this. And the second line would sound like this. So that's an easier way, but Hozier does use bar chords, so I'm going to do that at the playthrough at the end of the song. The next section to learn is the bridge, and there's just one line of tab here. So we're going to play an E minor chord shape. And again, let's break this up into 4 smaller sections. So for our first section, we're going to hit bass note, and then open third, open first string, and then with your pinky finger, go onto the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. So the first section. For the second section, you're going to lift your pinky finger, pinch the 6th and 2nd string, put that pinky finger back down, and then pluck it again and slide it up to 5th fret. So the second section. Then we're going to go to a C major 7 chord shape. So it's a C without your index finger pushed down. You're going to pluck the bass note, and the 3rd, then the 1st, hold that out, and then back to the 3rd string. So. And then the final section is pinching the 5th and open 2nd strings. And then index finger comes down, pluck that, and then lift it and pluck that open string again. So the 3rd and 4th sections by themselves. And the bar and total. For the next bar, the first half is identical. For the 3rd section though, we're going to hit the open 5th string. With your ring finger, hit the 2nd fret of the 3rd string, slide that up to 4th, and then index finger on the 3rd fret of the 2nd. So that's the 3rd section. For the 4th section, we're going to pinch the 5th and 3rd string together, but then you're going to slide down to 2nd. And then lift your ring finger, hit the open 3rd, and then open 4th string. So the final section, and the 3rd and 4th sections together. Now the same principles apply to this bridge, where we're always hitting a bass note on the click. So with that in mind, the bridge sounds like this. Now the only other thing we need to learn is the final chorus, which is the same as the other choruses, except that second line of chords is extended a little bit. So in that second line of tab where we have the G shape to C, G shape to C shape, we're going to be playing that bar through 3 times, and then we have that short bar where it's just 1 G shape and 1 C shape, and then we end the song with a G shape. So it's pretty much the same as the other choruses, just that second line is extended out a little bit. So those are all the parts that you need to learn. Now in terms of structure, this is how it's going to go. At the start of the song, you play through 2 of the verses, and then there's a short break, and then another verse riff, and then there's the long break, and then we go into the chorus. After that first chorus, there's then 2 more verse riffs, a short break, another verse riff, and then a long break. Then we go into the second chorus, and then there's the bridge of the song. And then we go into 1 more verse riff, a short break, and then the final chorus. But in total, there's not a lot to learn in the song. You just need to take those pieces and then stack them together. And that's all there is to it. So now I'll be doing a full playthrough of the song, and I'll have my good friend Eric lending his awesome vocals to this playthrough. So feel free to play this back as many times as you'd like to practice, play along to, and see how you go.
Undergarden and gallant coast.
Thanks so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this lesson, then I know you'll absolutely love these other lessons too. So hit the link here. Or if you want to grab a copy of my free guitar ebook, then head over to guitarzerotohero.com or click the link here. Thanks so much, and I'll see you guys next time on Guitar Zero to Hero. Cheers.